if you are wanting to watch this or go in for any other information, it will be on the YouTube channel. Who can tell me where the YouTube channel can be found at? You can unmute yourself.
YouTube.
Well, besides YouTube, but where can you actually find the
In the album for the help pages.
Party pants. Yes, the Lula Happy Help pages. That will be something you are going to hear a few times tonight, but that should always be, if you have a question, that should be your first resource. Go there, because 9 out of 10 times it's going to be there, unless it's like one random little specific question. But 9 out of 10 times you are going to be able to have that as a major resource. So let me screen share, because I am going to be using a PowerPoint for you guys. Can you see my screen? Okay, I gotta see people.
Yes, we can see
it. I couldn't see anyone. Okay, so tonight we are going to go through. Why is this not going? Hold on. What is going on with my computer? For the love of that. Oh. Hold on. Okay, there we go. So tonight we are going to be discussing really what the roles and responsibilities of all of independent retailers with LuLaRoe have. We have a lot of, I think, just some uncertainty as to what you can expect and what is expected out of you as independent retailers. So tonight we're going to just kind of go over quickly so what is expected out of you as a retailer, what is expected of you as a sponsor, and as you go up the ranks of trainer, coach, and then we will also discuss mentor briefly. So we're going to first start with even a QB. I should have said that. So even going through a QB, because QBs have just as much expectations or things that are expected out of them as a coach, as a trainer, as a sponsor. This is your business. Well, I need to change this so I can see everything. We're going to go this way. Hold on. Sorry, I was trying to get the recording up there. So when it comes to QBs, there are certain things that we hope that you guys are going to be doing. And these are some of suggestions by LuLaRoe Corporate that if you ever do any of the calls through LuLaRoe, if you do the QB calls, you are going to see a lot of this information. But then this is some of these websites or some of these slides will also have some information on it that us as Lula Happy Homie leaders, we sat at a leadership retreat training a couple months ago, maybe that was just a month ago, and we went over some expectations of what we expect of ourselves, what we expect of you guys. I am not writing that. Like, there is writing coming up on the screen, and that is not me. Like, my hands are over here. Do not. There's a ghost in my room. But so first, let's go through QBs. One is hold at least 2 in-home online pop-ups. If that is something that, see, that is not me. Someone's doing that. If that is something that you are able to do, please do so. The reason that we say that you can, I mean, really? You guys see that, correct?
That's kind of freaky, yes.
My hands are in my lap.
Doing what?
There's like a pen.
Is there someone on your iPad or something?
You can edit.
Oh, there's a pen option and you can write on it.
Oh, like you guys can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have the option to edit.
You guys
so
do?
someone is touching the pen and for some reason.
That would be Nancy.
I don't know.
Nancy, you're doing that, aren't you?
If it would work, but I didn't do the rest of that.
Okay, whoever's doing, please stop.
Does it say help?
I'm seeing if I can get it off there.
It's Larissa. I see her. She's concentrating. I bet it's Keena.
There's an eraser.
I'm trying to find the eraser.
Here. Oh, wait. No, that didn't do it.
How can you do it? Like, I don't even see how it
Are you
can
on
be
your
done.
phone, Nancy?
What?
Are you on your phone?
No.
Oh, I'm on my phone and
Okay.
doing
I got it. So stop messing with it, please. So if you are able to do some online or in-home pop-ups, please do so, because what that does is that allows you to see what an in-home is going to look like. You're going to be able to see, you're going to be able to earn some clothes. And that's one of the things that you need to be doing. You need to be wearing the clothes all the time, as much as possible. I see consultants all the time around here and they're not wearing clothes. And I'm going, what are you doing? You've got to be wearing the clothes. It's just something for you guys that is just so important for you guys to do, because anytime you are able to share the culture, anytime that you are able to share what the business is about, the clothes, everything, it's just so important for you guys to be talking LuLaRoe up. It's a huge part of the business is talking, is talking things up. So identify your why. This is a huge one right here, because why are you going to work hard? Why are you willing? Because this business, as we know, it's very simple, but it's very time consuming. It's very hard. So it's something for you that you guys have to figure out, what is your why? That's something that you should do before you join the company. Why do you want to do it? And a lot of us have financial reasons, not everyone. So that's one misconception that we have a lot, that everyone's doing this for the money, and everyone's not doing this for the money. You learn very early in the game as a leader that every single person is not in this for the money. And yes, again, there are definitely some people are, but not everyone is. So it's something that you have to really want to do. You want to be able to know why you're going to do what you do. So the home office says at the very beginning, create your why sentence. Know that is something that probably will change. And it should change. It should change as your business evolves. We ask that you attend the weekly Q Club webinars, and that's both the team and the home office. Home office, I think, does it every Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern time. So hopefully you are getting that email. And if you are a QB and you don't get that email, reach up to your upline, let them know that you're not getting it, and they can reach you, they can put you to the right place to get on those emails. Or if you just post every Monday, who's got it? Someone will forward that to you. Someone will post that. And then also get on the team. We have 3 pledge moms, which are in charge really of, they do, Sarah, Courtney, or Kate, is it 8 or 10 weeks now?
10.
So they do a 10-week rotation. So every week is the same, or every 10th week is the same thing. And this is not just for QBs, it's also for new people. And what you're learning here is you're learning a variety of information. Last night was multis. Sometimes they'll do social media. What are your topics? You guys have fundraisers, you have multis.
We have culture, role responsibility, 72-hour game plan, etiquette, hostess prep, inventory, like building your inventory, multis, fundraising, how to cruise qualify, and team building.
Okay, good. So if that's anything that maybe you need a little more touch, or you need a little more help on, go on to those Monday night calls. It's not just for QBs. Anyone can go on it. And when I help on it,
Shop the Row versus nothing, and we added into that topic time management and time sucks.
Time sucks is a big one for this business, that's for sure. I think that's one of the things. Time management by far is the number one complaint or struggle with LuLaRoe retailers, without any doubt. Okay, so go on attend those weekly Q Club. Learn what the culture is. One of the best things about LuLaRoe is the culture. It's absolutely amazing. If you've ever heard Deanne speak, you can just feel the culture. You know exactly what is expected of you, what she wants this to be, what she wants this company to be like. Learn the history of it. We're a young company. We're 4 years old. If you last January 1st, we were at 5,000 consultants. That's it. So January 1st, so we've gone from 5,000 consultants to 80,000 consultants in a matter of 15 months. So the history of LuLaRoe is amazing. Know what the mission statement is. Where through fashion we create freedom, serve others, and strengthen families. A place where lives are being blessed and dreams achieved through love, purpose, confidence, trust, and growth. Learn those. Understand it. What does that mean? Know what our core values are. And those core values are simply those 5 last things I just said. Love, purpose, confidence, trust, and growth. It's a huge thing. So if you can understand that we are trying to bless families, we're trying to achieve, have dreams achieved. All of that is possible, and the home office is there to support exactly what those foundations. Okay, the home office wants us to succeed 100%. Okay, so, and then get ready. You have to learn, learn, learn. You'll hear it all the time through LuLaRoe. Be a learn-it-all. None of us, it doesn't matter who you are. My sponsor, Jamie Bagley, was number 2 in the company. She's been around for 4 years. She's a learn-it-all. If you or don't, she's forever reading books. She is forever learning. She's doing the coaches, the focus coaches group right now, which I just was in last week, even though she's been doing this for 4 years. So she is as active in learning as the QB should be learning. It's changing. And if you would have said 4 years ago online, they would have said, we don't do online. They did only in-home skirt or in-home skirt parties. That's it. That's all they did. And then they went in-home, and now they're seeing more stuff going live. So it's just this ever-evolving and, changing company. And so you're going to have to learn what are some techniques, what are some ways that you guys can definitely learn when it comes to your business. Okay. So the next one we're going to go through. Well, any questions on QB? Okay, so I'll kind of stop and ask questions for each one. So the next one is going to be the retailer expectations. This is a bold one because every single one of us on here, these are our expectations. Every single person on here, this is what's expected of you, including me, including the other coaches on the team, including Jamie. So at all 80,000, this is what we expect of all of us. Learn and live the mission and the core values. Even doing something like doing sales, going on the BST pages and putting stuff at below MAP prices. That is clearly going across or against the mission and the core values. We're not trying to one up because, we need an extra $5. So when you do that, you are devaluing the brand of LuLaRoe, and that defeats every single thing that Mark and Deanne stand for. And they work their butts off. They're billionaires. They do not have to work. They could easily sell this company, but they love this company. And if you've ever been to a LuLaRoe event with either one of them, you wholeheartedly know just how much they love this company. They legitimately work their butts off because they love this company. So retailer, clearly identify your why. Connect people with the product. You can do that easily by wearing the product. You can do that by doing fundraisers. It's amazing how you are able to connect people with the product by helping them. You will hear Deanne say 1,000,000,001 times, the more you give, the more you're going to get. And that's so true within this company. Be a learn-it-all. Participate in all trainings and webinars. If you can't watch them live, and there's some times where we have something going on at 8, or you have something going on at 8 o'clock and you can't come on, that's fine. But are you going on the YouTube channel, and watching all the stuff that we've done? I will hear someone say, I really want to know about the multis. Well, have you watched any of the multi stuff? Well, no. Well, why not? And if kind of skipping around here, this is your business, guys. You have to treat this like your business. You cannot expect anyone else to give you all of the training. That you have to, no matter what you do, you have to do this yourself. All of us are expected to be sales, to sell the product. Okay, so that might not be our sole reason anymore. My sole reason is not to sell the product. But as a coach, I'm expected to cruise qualify every single month. That's an expectation that Deanne and Mark have put on every single coach and every single mentor. So that just means that there are going to be some times where I'm trying to figure out what else can I do. And that's my responsibility to find what else can I do to hit that $12,000 every single month. Because maybe what I was doing 6 months ago or a year ago was not working at all. So where can I go? I can go to Fashion Fundamentals. If you have not gone to Fashion Fundamentals, oh my goodness, you have got to go. By far, you have got to go. There are such amazing resources on that page. I mean, it's just amazing. There are so many, and you're learning from some of the very, very, very best of LuLaRoe. You are cutting yourself short if you have not done that. If you have never done the 72-hour game plan, do it. And you should be doing it over and over and over and over again. Every 72 hours, redo that 72-hour game plan. If that's a little much for you, do it once a month. But just do it. It makes you really start to think about who can you provide this product for? Who can you reach out to find book or in-homes or online parties? Keep it super simple. Deanna said that we have made this business such a difficult business and so much harder than it needs to be. And it really doesn't need to be as difficult as some of us make it. A few of the next ones are huge for me. Okay, this is a huge one. Number 9 by far is one of my most favorite as a retailer. You have to discuss your expectations with your sponsor. When I say that, I'm talking about what do you want from them? And know that it may not be completely 100% realistic. They're working their own business. On here it says, they are not working this business 24/7, like meaning they're not on, I don't want to say your beck and call, but they're not on your beck and call. You can't email them or text them or Facebook them at 10 o'clock at night and be upset when by 10 o'clock the next morning they haven't responded to you. I will tell you, for me personally, I don't do PMs until nighttime. And there have been times where I get a text in the middle of the night, and then I work from 6 to 4, and I'm not always on my phone. And then by noon, I've got an email saying, I don't know if you saw my text or my Facebook message. Did you get it? And then at 4, I get a text. Hey, did you get my email or my private message? Guys, you can't. And it might be, and that message might have been, what's the current onboarding package? And so you have to make sure that your expectations for your sponsor are so realistic, because right now, we've said at the beginning, this business is so much time. It's time consuming. And as a retailer, your first responsibility is to treat your business and to work your business. We all join this paying $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. Which means we have to treat this like a business. And our businesses come first. It doesn't matter if you're a retailer, a sponsor, a trainer, a coach, or a mentor. Your first responsibility is your business. So at one of the leadership, Sadie Thompson, who is, I think she's the 3rd or 4th highest paid LuLaRoe consultant, and she's like $150,000 to $200,000 a month. She says that she does 80% goes to her, or 40, 40, 20. So 40% goes to her personal sales, 40% goes to her team, and 20% goes to ordering and the business side of it, and doing like readings and stuff like that. So 60% of her time is spent on her personal business. So please, please, please be realistic with your expectations. And if you are answering a question of like, where do I learn about the team multi? Or how can I find about fashion fundamentals? Or what's the home office phone number? All of that stuff, I recommend to my trainers and all my leaders, do not respond to those. And you know where I learned that from? My sponsor. Jamie, we always make the joke that Jamie has like this little 24-hour rule. If it's really important, she gets on it. I mean, she's on the ball. But if it's not, if it's like what's the home office phone number? She will wait 24 hours. Because that just means that you're going to go find it yourself, which you should. Do you know how many times I've heard, I don't have time, can you find this for me? Or how many times I've seen it be to another trainer or another sponsor. You guys, you have to keep your expectations very, 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 very clear and upfront. If you tell your sponsor, I need this, 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 that sponsor should tell you that's not possible, or sure, I can do that for you. But don't be surprised. I see some people a little upset when on the team page, when someone says, what is the most current onboarding package? And someone says, go check the files. You can't be upset about that. That's something, so just go straight to the file. So a lot of these things, just make sure that you are treating it like a business and you are taking responsibility for your business and you are finding out that information yourself. So allow your sponsors 24 hours. The next one, learn when to go up and who to go up to. If it's a simple question, go up to your sponsor. You guys are not allowing your sponsors and your trainers to do what they want to do. When you sponsor, that means you want to help. You want to help guide someone. They want to help you, and you're not letting them help them. So make sure, and a lot of times, like if I get a question, I might not be able to respond back to in a day or two, and which is causing more frustration because I'm not getting to you in a day or two. Whereas your sponsor might have done it just like that. Okay, so legitimately give them a shot to help you get the question that you need, or at least to guide you. My big thing is as a retailer, your expectations of your sponsor needs to be as a guide. You are using them as a guide. So your responsibility is find the multis yourself. Guys, go on Google, go on YouTube, go on Facebook and just type up LuLaRoe multis. Did you sit on the newbie call last night? That's all I talked about was how to find a multi. That doesn't need to be a sponsor responsibility. That's a retailer responsibility. Your sponsor doesn't have to go with like going over multis, going over pop-ups, how to get customers with every single person on their team. Can they? Sure. Might they like to? Yeah. But there are so many resources. Are you using them? Have you looked at the resource that I put in the help pages that there's 19 ways that you are able to, that there are 19 ways that you are able to, or suggestions on how to find bookings, how to find parties, how to find customers. Have you looked at that? Or do you automatically go? You might have a sponsor who only does in-homes. And you're asking about multis and they don't have a clue. We have a lot of people on our team that don't do multis. And nor should they have to, nor should they want to. If what they're doing is working, more power to you. If I could do in-homes and only in-homes, oh my goodness, I'd be in hog heaven. So much easier, so much quicker. I don't have to do shipping. I don't have to worry about double selling anything. Golden. So don't be upset if your sponsor's like, I don't know about or I don't know about a multi. That's okay. They don't need to know about a multi. They don't have to have their hand in every single pot. If they are just doing their one way, go for it, girl, if that's what's working for them. Okay? So please don't have that expectation that you're, hold on, just start. Okay. Hey, will someone watch the chat group? Because I'm going to take that. I'm turning that off the screen. So if someone has a question, please someone stop it so then I can go, because I don't want that up. You know, my squirrel moments.
I was going to say right now it's just chatter on.
Okay, perfect. But if there's a question, legitimately, someone unmute it and ask so then I can just keep going. So just make sure that you are researching the team page, the YouTube channel, the Google. I get all the time, well, how can I build sales? Have you Googled, make Google your best friend. Have you Googled direct sales tactics? There are so many websites. YouTube, holy moly. If you type in direct sales tactics in Google, or how do I build a customer base in Google or YouTube, you're going to find so much more. And you're going to find so much more than your sponsor knows. But when you're asking stuff like that from your sponsor, so many people are not happy when they say, okay, well, I've tried it, now what else? Well, maybe that's all your sponsor knows. So that's one thing that you've got to be aware of, that your sponsor's not going to know everything. Okay. Research info and questions before asking others. It shouldn't be, never should you post on the team page, I don't have time, what is this? No one's got more time of the day than you. We all have the same exact amount of time. So to ask that question, that's such a tough question, because are you treating your business like a business when you're relying on someone else to get the answers for you? No, you're definitely not. So make sure that you are asking those questions. Read the Lula Happy Help pages and for suggestions. Now this is a big one for me, because I think 9 out of 10 questions that I get asked are on the pin post of something. Whether it's in the back office for the multi-page, whether it's on ours, whether it's on the insert page, whatever page, maybe multis. I get questions about, well, how will I know what is expected of me of a multi? Go on the pin post. Every multi is different. Every post that you're going to be on. If you are on like the Frank's consultant graphics, her pin post is different. Every pin post, the Dreamers page is different. You guys have like your May and your June pages. Those are different. So just read the pin post. You guys will be very, very surprised how much information is on there. We get asked all the time, like on the multi-insert page, where do I find the March signups? Or where do I find the April signups? In the pin post. How do I know what page is on what? In the pin post. Or on what day on what? How many can I participate in the pin post? So always try to go to those pin posts. Okay. Any questions on retailer? Okay, so for the fundamentals, what are the fundamentals? These are going to be the topics in the back office. So if you struggle at any of these, and I would probably say 9.9 out of 10 questions that most sponsors get have to do with one of these.
Can I interrupt real quick, Amy?
Sure.
Because I couldn't get unmuted fast enough. Because
okay.
It seems, especially like there's been several that have had sponsors, as soon as they onboard, their sponsor drops out.
Yes.
Look to who their sponsor is. Don't go all the way up the food chain.
Yeah.
Start with who their sponsor is first, because that technically will be your sponsor.
Yes. Well, and that's actually something I forgot when I just looked at my notes, be what I wanted to talk about with retailer real quick. When it comes to like treating your business like a business, set business times. Set times that you want to work. Put expectations. Sit down with your spouse if you're married and have expectations from them. I hear a lot of issues when it comes to like my husband's not supportive. So sit down with him and say, what's acceptable? What are you okay with? And if you say, I'm going to work from like me, I'm in the office at 7, 8 o'clock, and I might be in here until 12, 1 o'clock, whatever it is. My husband knows that I'm in here working at that time. So the expectation is set right away that this is my time. And as a retailer and a mom, we all have had mommy guilt. If you have been in this company for more than a month or two, you know that we all have mommy guilt because we're like, oh my gosh, we're missing out on this, we're missing out on that. But know, though, that if you have set the expectations with your kids, hey, guys, I'm going to be in here from here to here. Like my kids know that I don't put them down for bed because I am with them after school and during dinner, and then my husband goes and puts them in the bath, and then he puts them to bed. So my kids know the expectation, because that's one of the hardest things is family, and is the pressure from family, because the money's great, but then they're like, but you're away from the family so much. And especially people who are doing this just for a couple $100. To make a couple $100 in LLR a month is really easy, but to make a couple $1,000 is not easy. It's easy, but it's time consuming. It's very time consuming. So what are your expectations of your family? And having those expectations are huge. And another one I forgot that I wanted to mention is also going back to just discuss your expectations with your sponsor. And just as a retailer, I'm in this company with some of my closest friends. I have my sister in this company. My father is a retailer. My best friend's a retailer, and some of my closest friends from my last 5, 6, 7 years are on this team. So one thing that I really want you guys to be very aware of, that in this company, don't think that because your sponsor is not inviting you to do every single thing, whether it is a multi, whether it is an in-home, like joint in-home party, that they're picking favorites. That's something that I've heard recently, that, people, and I've heard it me personally. And I want, like I did an in-home boutique this past weekend with my best friend and my sister. And someone's like, oh, you know what? I wish I could get it. I wish I could do that. No, though, guys, when we're doing pop-ups, when we're doing multis, it's not that we're picking favorites, or it's not that I don't want people to think that people are picking favorites. It's just they are working with their closest friends. I will tell you right now, I've been invited to one multi. That's it. Like one multi consultant sale. That's it. So, and I don't take offense to it. I don't get upset that, Sarah's entire team is doing this multi and I didn't get invited. It's the business. Do not worry. Do not be upset that your sponsor invited someone and they didn't invite you. Maybe that's their best friend. Maybe that's their really close. And you have to learn to take out sponsor and a retailer. When I'm working my business, I'm a retailer. I'm not coach. I am not a sponsor of anyone when I'm in my boutique selling my product. So try to have that, try to just remember that when if your sponsor doesn't invite you to do something and they invited someone else. Because a lot of times it's their closest friends. And there's nothing wrong with that. They're not in a sponsor role. Now, if they go on a sponsor trip and they don't invite you, that's a different ballgame. Totally different ballgame. If I'm like, I'm going to do a director trip or my direct retreat, and I only invite 16 out of 21 of them, that's an issue because I am doing something specifically for the team, for my team. Okay. But if I'm doing something for my business, learn to differentiate the two. Is my sponsor doing this as a sponsor, or is she doing this as a retailer? If she's doing this as a retailer, don't take offense to it. Okay,
it may be that we were sitting here trying to give others opportunities too that they may not have.
Yeah.
I'm helping Anna Cordner with an event, and she's had people say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I can't do it." So I'm reaching out to people who I personally haven't done an event with in a while, or people who just kind of need an event to get back into the swing of things. And so there's reasons behind it. It's not just because, oh, I'm going to pick so and so because I like them better.
But I mean, yeah, and I 100%, like everything that Sarah just said, completely agree. But if you can ask yourself, is she a sponsor at this moment or is she a retailer? That in itself will help everything, in my opinion. I think it's easier to differentiate what is my sponsor doing. Okay, so I think right now it's just, for whatever reason, a lot of people with events, they are feeling left out because their sponsor is not inviting them to do those events. I mean, and even some of the things I've done, you know, I have invited my directs first, and then sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just open up to the whole team. Doesn't mean I'm picking favorites of one or the other. Okay. Okay. So going back, what are the fundamentals? So here are your fundamentals. These are the things that even if you've been in the company for a year, go back and watch these. Talking about the social media basics. It's amazing. We have some of the coolest videos on how to work your social media business, whether it is Instagram, whether it is Facebook Live, Periscope, whatever it is. So many good ones. Styling. If you've never watched a sister styling video, holy crap, you have to go do that. It's all the sisters of Deanne, or it's all Deanne's daughters and her sister-in-law and the daughter-in-laws. Such a cool thing. I just had one lady come to me and say, hey, she was ordering a Julia 2 sizes up, and she was like, I just watched Nicole talk on sister styling about how to go 2 sizes up, wear a belt, and then flop it over. And she was like, she bought Julia just like that. So if that's something that you're doing, maybe you go on live and you're saying, okay, guys, here's a Julia. You can wear it this way. And you put on an oversized Julia and you showcase it. That's right there is another idea. So you can get a lot of different ideas for selling, not only just selling, but also for how do you grow your inventory? How do you use Build and Bless? That's a big one that we hear about all the time. I get asked all the time, well, how do you invoice in the new glass? Have you watched the video? Because I did that at university. For those of you that don't know, the most important things that I feel like you guys are going to need, and the questions that get asked all the time, I put university on that post. So if you've seen that word and you're like, what the heck is that? That just allows you to type in university, YOUNIVERSITY, and you can type that into the search on the Lula Happy page, and all kinds of videos and just good information comes up. So then you're not sifting through hundreds and hundreds of threads. Okay. So, but some of this stuff's on there. I tried anytime that I just started when this tonight call will be on university. Not only will it be in the YouTube, but it'll also be on university. Okay. So time management, how to sell, how to upsell, hostess prep. Hostess prep is a huge one. Your sponsor may not have a clue how to hostess prep because she does all online. Can't blame her. She's a huge online seller. Go for it. We have some retailers who do $50,000 a month all online. I can't imagine doing all that shipping, but hey, go for it, girl. But some people do that, and they might not have a clue how to do hostess prep. So going online would do that. Doing that 72 hours, and during those first 90 days are a huge one. Knowing your product. If you don't know your product, how are you going to sell your product? Patrick does videos on the product. Go watch them. Inventory management. How do you do the 50-50? How do you grow it? I always say your inventory should never be less tomorrow than it is today. Well, how do you do that? There's an amazing video on that. And a lot of times that's something that maybe someone has spent hours and hours putting together, and they don't have time to go hours and hours and hours to go with you, but you can do this at any time. If you're Sarah Clements and who does things at 2 o'clock in the morning, she can do that at 2 o'clock in the morning. And she doesn't need a sponsor I'm her sponsor, but I'm not up at, some nights I'm up at 2 in the morning, but I may not be up at 2 o'clock in the morning, but she can go on fundamentals and get that information. So here's the website, LularowFashionFun.com. Amazing website. Now the password has started to change monthly. So if you are a Q member, you are going to have to get it from your sponsor, but you are allowed to be on it. Okay, as a QB, you are allowed to be on it. But it is changing. It used to just be Fashion Fun, and I don't even know what it is this month, but it changes. So go talk to your sponsor, and they can get you in there. And if someone reminds me, we could always change it in the help pages too every month. But again, it's your business. So go in that back office. It's right on the main back office one or screen. Okay, so now let's go through sponsor expectations. And a sponsor is the role is the purple, a person who introduces and supports another. It's not, I mean, listen, look at that. They introduce you to the business, or maybe they're introducing you to the business side of LuLaRoe, of being a retailer. So that sponsor needs to do everything we just talked about, including their business. They have to run their business. Deanne would say, if they are not as successful in their business, how are they going to teach you to be successful in your business? They need to have a good VIP page. They need to do, or whatever they're going to do. They need to have good sales, because they need to be able to teach you how to do good sales, or guide you and give you the support of how to do good sales. It's that whole modeling the behavior. Okay. So teach the mission and the 5 core values. Your sponsor is just showing you. One way they teach you is they show you how to do that. But then they also could give you, if you're talking about the mission, the 5 core values, they might just do a quick little thing just like this on what the culture is. The team does that. Our team, the Pledge Moms, the QB calls, they do an entire webinar on the culture of LuLaRoe and what we expect from you, what we want from you. They will be a commitment to another success. All the sponsors on this team legitimately want to see you succeed. They want to see you succeed. There's something magical about Lula Happy, and there's something legitimately magical about being a sponsor and seeing your girls reach their goals. It's one of the things that keeps me going. It's one of my whys, to watch you guys succeed. It's so much fun. And when people are excited, when if one of the girls hits trainer, and like when Katrin hit trainer, she was Marcoing me, oh my God, and that's one of the most fun. The day that we hit, who was it? Sarah Pavic, did you hit it on the last day? Maybe it was Tori that hit it on the last day. But I know Katrin hit it on the last day, Sarah hit it on the last day, and Kina. That day, Marco Jamie was like, this is one of my most fun LuLaRoe days I've ever had, because watching the excitement was ridiculous. It was so
I'm glad you thought it was fun. It was stressful.
It was stressful, but it was so much fun to get like a message at 11 o'clock going, are you sleeping? Where are you? I hit it. To go check the back. I was like going crazy. And of course I put my phone down at like 10:50. It was probably like 11:15 when I got that. And I put my phone down at 11. I was like, I just got to get away from that. I've got to do something, focus. And well, that's when I got the 11:15 going, I got it. And I was like, oh. But it's just so much fun to be a sponsor. So it's that that outward mindset. You will hear LuLaRoe talk about this book all the time. I had to read this entire book during my focus group with all the coaches, with my 10 coaches. It's life-changing. I mean, it changed your mind about, it's not about you. And as a sponsor, part of it does become about the other person and watching that other person grow. But it's not by doing. If you ask any of my directs, am I hands-on? No. I am that one that's like, okay, well, that's where you're going to go get it. That's where you're going to go find. If you need me, I mean, I always say that I'm a hard person to have as a sponsor, because one, I don't have as much time, but I also, because I learned everything myself, and I'm an orange gold if lens color. Hopefully you know them from when we did the colors. But
Nancy wants to know what book that was.
The outward mindset, seeing beyond ourselves. So you will hear about that. I have a page, or I have a slide on here that shows all the books that the LuLaRoe recommends, but this one is amazing. If you need books, let me give you 3 books for you as a sponsor or as a retailer. So Outward Mindset, Power of TED, and The Go-Giver. These are 3 books that LuLaRoe talks about so much, and if you've been to convention, they talk about this at every single convention, leadership, inspire, every single time. This is the whole, is it on this one? No, it's on the next one. It's all about the creator and the victim. You guys, so many people are like, you drink the Kool-Aid so much, you are so positive. It's because of this book. It's legitimately because of this book, and I'll go over kind of what that means shortly. But these books just kind of change your mindset of it's not only about you. Like, yes, the business is yours, but it's so much more when there's that team, when there's other people doing it with you. Okay, so but we'll go through it in a few. So create meaningful and personalized recognition. This is one thing I love about brag posts, and I always tell my leaders, please tell me if there's anything amazing, because it's fun. It's not bragging like, oh, look, I'm better than you. It's sharing the excitement. to me, if someone has an 80-piece pop-up, you better believe I want to tell them, I want to share that to the world, because that's exciting. I might be jealous of it. You better believe I would be jealous of it. But I want to share that because that's so freaking cool, and that's something that everyone can achieve. And then you can learn from each other. Well, how did you do that? What were you doing?
But you also can't get mad at them if they don't brag on you, if you don't tell them that it's happening.
Yes. We have to know. We have to know. And so please, 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 please tell us. Please, I don't care if you are my downline 12. PM me going, oh my God, this is so exciting. And I want to brag on you. With these new capsule collections, these capsule, Maurice, she did a capsule collection, sold 8 items in one picture. That's amazing. Brag about that. That's something that maybe if you're like, well, what could I do? And you're really good at styling, you could put these capsules together. Bragging is the best. It's the best thing that we can do in this business, because as things change, your business needs to change. And if you see other people that are really successful and they're doing things that are really successful, maybe you could emulate your business after that. Or, maybe you could just change something up and try to, instead of doing this, maybe you do this instead. It doesn't hurt. Okay? Treat your business like a business. This is from a sponsor. You will see this on every page. But as a sponsor, your main focus needs to be your VIP page, not doing everything for your retailer. Okay? Not doing for everything for on your team. You come first in this business. You always have to come first in this business. If you don't come first, your business will suffer. If your business suffers, you as a leader start to do this. And I'll be the first to tell you that when this team started to grow, my business was here. I was cruise qualifying level 3. And then as the team got bigger and bigger, this is what I did. For my business started going down and down and down and down. And I was doing $18,000, $20,000 a month. Then I was doing $15,000 a month. Then I was doing $14,000. And it kept going down until on average I was sitting at between $8,000 and $10,000. So and the reason I say this is because you have to make sure that your business comes first, because right now, all I'm doing is I am working 10 times harder than I was a year ago because I let my VIP page slip. And my VIP page is not consistent, which is one thing that you need to be doing. It needs to be consistent. My VIP page isn't consistent because I'm like, well, I can't do that day I have this, or I can't do that because I have a call, or whatever it might be, or Deanne just called in a meeting and, well, there goes my live video. That happens half the Fridays. So as a sponsor, you have to recognize, though, that you started this business for you. And so go back to kind of like what Sadie Thompson had. Go to that 60-40. It's okay to put your team aside to work on your business for the time being. Do you shut them out? Absolutely not. But there are times where I have some of my directs contact me on a night where I'm doing a pop-up and I don't respond to them until the next day. And I say, so sorry, I was working my business. And they all know. They know that on my business night, they're not going to get a response. There are some, Sadie Thompson her team knows that on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, she's inaccessible. She does not pick up a phone. She does not get online Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So she is not accessible. So you have to realize that your page is yours, your time is yours, and as a sponsor, that you don't have to do everything for your team. Your team has to realize that it's their own business. And that's a hard thing that a lot of people are struggling with. They are seeing people really successful, and they think that their sponsor needs to do everything for them. Nope. Can you see what that top purple thing is? They introduce you and they support you. There's nowhere in there that says do. They are supporting you. They are being your biggest cheerleader. If I do nothing except cheer you on and do your rah-rah, I'm doing the job, as Deanne would say. Deanne will even say, they don't need to tell you about shipping. They don't need to tell you about Shop the Row or how to do a Facebook event party. They need to guide you into hey, have you looked here for that? Have you done this for that? Not doing it for you. Okay. One of your expectations as a sponsor is add new team members to your upline page. How far you go up is your choice. I always say take it up to your first coach minimum. So if you are on Sarah Keena's team, take it all the way up to their page at the very least. Then you can come up here if you want. It's your call. Since I am direct to Jamie, I put it up to Jamie's page. I put it on my sponsor's page. But if your sponsor has an active page, you should be putting your girls on her page. Don't skip people. Don't skip, if you are Christy Stevens, Don't skip Jamie and Kate and Gina and go straight to my page. If Gina and Jamie and Kate have active pages, go on to those pages. Again, they want to help you. Now, if they don't have active pages, you know what? If they don't have a page, we're going to go on to the next slide. A trainer doesn't have to have a page, and don't expect a trainer to have a page. Some have very small resources, but it doesn't matter if they don't have active pages as trainers. It's okay. If there's only 10 of them, it becomes overwhelming. I know some of y'all are on like 5 or 6 pages of uplines on top of the back office page, and then search a page and the multi. That just gets really overwhelming on top of probably the 50 other LuLaRoe pages that you're on too. So it becomes overwhelming. So pick the ones that you want. But if your sponsor has an active page, please put your girls on that page, and then you can choose how far you go up. As a sponsor, it's your job and the retailer's job at the same time to check in to see how they want to be led. If you, as a retailer, if you have an expectation, it's your job to tell your sponsor, this is what I need. Jamie and I sat down at leadership in August or in October, and we had a heart-to-heart saying, this is what and I told her, this is what I need from you. And she told me this is what she needed from me. We had never had that discussion in an entire year. She didn't know what I wanted, and I didn't ever tell her. So that was my fault. I should have told her as a retailer. I should have said, Jamie, I need this from you. So if you feel like you are not getting the support you need, you have to go to your sponsor. They don't know unless you tell them. And so many of them want to help you so bad, and you're not giving them the opportunity. I honestly have had some leaders come to me saying, Amy, what can I do to get my girls to come to me? I so desperately want to help them. Let them. They're an amazing resource. If they're coming to me upset that they want to help you, holy moly, why would you turn away support? And if we have had 3 or 4 people on the team that have quit. You guys aren't orphans. Never in a billion years do I want anyone to feel like they are an orphan on this team. Reach up to that next sponsor. I know we've had a few, and I've reached out to all the downlines of the girls, said, hey, if you need me, come to me. But don't forget your next upline, because they want to help you. And you are not an orphan. If anyone says that you're an orphan, I'm going to take a ruler to you and say, no, there's no way, because that means if your sponsors, your original sponsor's not reaching out to you, reach out to me. Reach out to your next up coach, whoever it is. Reach out to your next trainer. And if it's all the way me, come to me. I would rather take you under my wing than you feel like you are an orphan. There are too many orphans in this company because people sign them up just to make a little money, and they are just to the wind. I think it's like Julie Dermis down in Florida says that her group of consultants down in Florida say it's amazing what we get. She'll show them like the team page, and she's like, whoa, we don't get any of that. And that's across the board. It is across the board. I'm in my focus coach group, or my focus group, we had to reach all the way up. I was making the joke. I was like, so I get to call Grandma Deanne? Like, really? Yes. Because they have said, try to reach all the way up that you can possibly go and support and get the support from them, because so many teams are having issues of lack of support. And that's one thing I don't ever want Lula Happy from the very get-go. From when it was just Sarah, Michelle, and Keena, when it was just the 4 of us, we started that on this page, this Lula Happy. We never chose, I never even imagined that Lula Happy would be our team name. I just did it as like a freaking page because I was really happy about LuLaRoe, and I was so excited. And I was like, oh, let's be Lula Happy. And that's kind of where the name came from. And it was just a resource place for us. So, but it's become so much more. So come on the page and ask questions. Just be, we watch you, we welcome you on the page. I know a lot of you say it's just so big, it's overwhelming. Yes, but if you've ever paid attention to the page, it's like the same 30 people that post. Come on in. It doesn't matter if you're brand new. I'll tell you right now, 9 out of 10 people on here don't know if you're brand new or not. I promise you that. 9 out of 10 people don't know if you're brand new. Because if you're on different branches of the tree, you ain't got a clue about the other branch. Don't worry. Jump on in. Use a chain of command when issues arise. This is a huge thing for a sponsor. No one should be going to Deanne. No one should be going to Jamie unless you haven't gone through your trainer, through me, through Deanne, or through Jamie. That's just wild. Jamie is so busy that you got to go through the proper channels, because there's been times where Jamie's coming in and say, what's up with this? I'm like, I don't have a clue. And so she'll reach out to the person and say, reach out to Amy. So if you jump to Jamie, Jamie's going to put you right back down to me. And then you just wasted 30 minutes, and Jamie don't answer questions quickly. So you may be waiting a day or two. And then you just lost all that time. If I can't help, I'll go up to Jamie. If Jamie can't help, I'll go to Jordan. I'll Marco Jordan, be like, hey, I got a question for you. I'll text Deanna if I need to. I'll text Art. I'll text who I need to text if I don't know the information. Okay. But as a sponsor, you have to know that you have to respect the chain of command. And the chain of command is not because anyone's on a power trip. It's the time saving. Jamie cannot control or cannot look after 4,000 people. She just can't. So we are all of her little minions that are helping her make sure that everything is going smoothly. And for Lula Happy, that's, you know what, there's little people, I don't want to say little people, there's people underneath me that are helping everything go smoothly. Because not the people or any coach, any mentor, there's just so much stuff that is going on that we do that there's just no time for us to deal with every little thing. So again, it's letting your sponsor help. So make sure that your sponsor, or as a sponsor, you know who you're going up to. As a sponsor, it is your job to walk through NMA, which is the National Immersion Application, if you need to. If you don't know, help pages. I put an entire album on step by step what you do to get through that NMA. And only if they ask. I was independent. I was totally independent. I didn't want Jamie's help. I didn't want it. It was like, I can read the directions, fine. But a lot of people don't know. So we need to instill in, as a sponsor, one of your responsibilities is to instill in your girls that that's where you need to go to, that you need to look for the help. Okay. And then as a sponsor, you need to ask for help if you need to. What a sponsor should not be expected to do. Find your pop-ups. Doesn't matter if it's home, online, multi, whatever. That's not their job. Their job is to guide you. Let's go back to that top one. Support you. A person who introduces and supports you. So they're there for support and guidance.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
In regards to the NMA and the new Bless and everything, have they set a date as to when that's going to be drop dead, got to be switched over type of thing?
Nope, but I'm assuming it's going to be it's going to be a lot sooner today, or it's going to be a lot sooner than it was yesterday, being the fact that the live field report's going. The live field report has been like the magical thing. They've been waiting for a lot. When that field report is up to date, working 100%, that is when it is going to be, we're going to be switching over. So I sent someone a PM, someone had asked me that same question earlier today, and I let her know, be prepared soon. That is
I'm kind of shocked that people are still in the old Bless.
Oh, the new one's so easy. The biggest issue that people have not moved over is because of the Apple. From those that I've spoken to, if you're an Apple product and you aren't on it, you're crazy. You are crazy. If you don't have an Apple though, I get it. I mean, I totally get it. Now, I don't know what I would do. I mean, we're a house that have 4 iPads, 3 iPhones. I mean, we're ridiculous. A MacBook Air. We are an Apple product. But I understand if you are like Susan Hawkins was so anti-Apple, it was funny. And she went over to the dark side. So if you don't have it, to me, the only reason you should be moved over is because you don't have an Apple product. If you have an Apple product, get your butt over there. It's so much easier, people. I promise you, so much easier. And to get there is easy. Just redo your inventory, hit a button, and boop, it's there.
It's incredible. It's like, I can't even. It is.
I can't see you. So I recognize Nancy's voice, but who was just talking now? I can't see any faces.
Amy, this is Erin.
Okay, hi Erin, go for it.
I still do not have my welcome email, and I still do not have my swiper. That is the reason why I am not on New Bless.
Okay.
They have stopped talking to me. I have sent them probably at least a month and a half worth of emails, and they have stopped talking to me, and I can't get anywhere with them. So.
Okay, send me a private message with your full name, ID, and then if you have any information like specific dates when you have, and that goes for anyone who is having an issue like that where you can't get a hold or whatnot, just send me a private message, and then, actually no, don't send me a private message, send me an email to Homan, last name HOMANAG @gmail.com. Okay, because it's easier, because I will send that into Elite Services, which my contact, all the coaches and mentors have a a private line, or not a private phone. It's not a phone line. I don't get the private phone line. But we do get a private email that have, how awesome would that be? But we do have 5 women that work just with the 450 of coaches and mentors. So it's awesome. So I get a little faster response than you guys. But they are only there for like problems that need to be escalated. Okay, so Homan AG, so Homan Amy Grout, homanag@gmail.com. Or
I sent an email because I had received everything, my welcome letter, everything. I had already switched over, but the only thing I didn't have was my card reader. And I emailed them, and within a week I had my card reader.
Well, yeah, because card reader is NMA. So card reader's NMA. The debit card is LuLaRoe. Completely 2 different things. Yes, they kind of work hand in hand, but they're 2 different things, 2 different companies.
Okay.
The credit card does not go through NMA separate. So depending upon what the issue is dependent upon who we go to. Okay,
But it was weird because the card reader comes from LuLaRoe. I mean, it's shipped from LuLaRoe.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. I got it.
That shows your shipping information in build and everything. So
I totally forgot about that. You're right about that. Yeah.
I got 2 swipies.
Well, if anyone has extra swipers, put it on the team page, and then we will definitely, those are things that doesn't matter. Like when we went to leadership, they had a huge box and said, grab one as you walk out. So
yeah, spread the love.
Well, I haven't switched over yet. I need to recount my inventory. I'm afraid my numbers are wrong, and I've gotten inventory since then. That's the only reason why.
Look, because since I was a beta, I saw both of them open too. I can't close it. So my assistant right now is doing my final account. I was like, I have to get it done. But okay, so let's keep going. So Erin, just PM me. So if there are any issues, definitely PM me. Okay. So one thing a sponsor should not be expected to do, to have all the answers. They're not going to have all the answers. There's a lot of times I don't know the answers where I have to go find someone. I'm sending Jordan an email. I'm sending Kenny, or not Kenny. I'm sending Art or whoever it might be, Justin, saying I need help. What's this, what's that, whatever it might be. And then what a sponsor should also not be expected to do is they shouldn't be providing you the answers to everything. So that's not the role of a sponsor to provide the answers for you. Guiding you guys, you want to be self-sufficient. You don't want to have to go to your sponsor for every time you have a question. I'm telling you right now, if you know where things are, your life, your job is so much more successful and so much more, what's the word? The time, like your, what am I trying to say? Like you are going to get so much more time, so much more done, efficient. Holy crap, you're going to be so much more efficient because you can do it on your schedule. Sarah can go in the middle of the night and do her work. She doesn't have to wait for me to wake up in the morning to, even though she probably goes to bed at 3 and I get up at 5. She would only have to wait a couple hours. But still, if you know it, it's so much better. This is something that Dan always talks about, okay? Your success is not dependent on your sponsor. Remember that. Your success is not dependent on your sponsor. If you are saying, I'm not successful because of my sponsor, if you don't know me, you will find out that I'm extremely blunt. So right now I'm going to be very, very blunt. If you are saying that you're not successful because of your sponsor, you are finding an excuse for your unsuccessfulness or your failures. It's not fair to put the blame on your sponsor. Your sponsor is a mentor, which is someone who guides you. They're not your partner. They shouldn't be doing late night calls on how to work a multi when we have given you 15 different avenues to learn about multis. You shouldn't be upset because they don't have the time today to sit with you and set up a Facebook page. Guys, Google how to set up a Facebook page. Your sponsor is a business mentorship. Or as a business mentor, not a business partner. And Deanne says it at every single thing that we go to. Your success is dependent upon you and you only. Treat this business like a business. Okay. What are the trainer's expectations? Same thing. Live the mission 5 core values. Be a why challenger. When times get tough, and times will get tough, this business has a lot of ups and downs in it. When I hear all the time, you know what? I just don't know. I might quit. And my job is, what's your why? Let's go back to your why. Do you know how many times my why came into play when I was working 95, 100-hour weeks that first couple months? When I cruise qualified, oh my gosh, I don't know if I remember what my husband looked like. But it always came back to my why. And if you know me, I do an intention heart. This hangs in my office. And I don't know if you guys can see this. I can't see anything, so it kind of sucks. This hangs in my office. And in here is my original LuLaRoe why. And my original LuLaRoe why is to put my kids on the bus. My kid is will be in 3rd grade, and my daughter is going into kindergarten, and I've never put them on the bus. They have always gone to daycare. They've always done before care. And for the first time in 56 days, I will put my kids on the bus. That's what my why is. So when I'm working 100-hour weeks, when I know my why, as a trainer, when I can challenge my girls and say, I know it's going to be tough, and I know this part sucks, but what is your reasoning? Why are you doing this? Why are you working 105 hours a week? Because it always comes back to this.
Days?
Say that again.
56 days?
56 days.
You're counting?
Oh, girl, I'm counting. Yeah, I'm counting. Are you kidding me? Yes. 56 school days, not 56 total days, 56 school
Right.
days. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So as a trainer, your job is to motivate, to hold weekly training webinars if you so see fit. Some teams don't want that. All of this up here, if you look at the definition of a trainer, a person who guides another in developing skills. They are training you to be better. They're not training you to get a job or find a pop-up. They're training you as what do you need to know to be successful in this business. And that's not always just the pop-ups. That's all the business sides. It's teaching you how to be self-sufficient. So when you're struggling at finding a pop-up, you can go on Google. They've taught you, hey man, go to Google. Go read this, go watch that video on cruise qualifying, because that girl talked about how she was doing $50,000 in sales a week or a month, and you're like, what? And you're learning about that. So they're teaching you how-tos. In this company, our trainers, we do the newbie calls, and our trainers help with the newbie calls. So that you will see trainers all the time and leaders all the time doing these doing these webinars. Courtney Springhetti was actually going to do the call this week on styling, but my last focus group was about this. And so this was so important that they said, we have to make sure, which is one of the trainer things, we have to make sure that we are getting water to the end of the row. We have to let every single person in LuLaRoe, all 80,000 people, know what is expected of them and what they can expect of others. Because there are a lot of people that are so frustrated with this business because they feel like they should be getting so much more from their sponsor, when in reality, they are wanting their sponsor to do their job for them. So we as trainers, and I'm saying we because I'm a trainer too. Yes, I might be a coach, but my coach responsibilities are this also. All of these things up here, that's my job too, because a coach needs to know what a trainer does, what a sponsor does, and what a retailer does. I have to have all of those. So when it comes to getting water to the end of the road, this is why we're doing this. And a trainer needs to make sure that every single girl, so all 430 homies, all 430 homies know what they expect and what they should do to get that expectations met. Know and teach the compensation. The trainers will teach that. I believe that we have we definitely have a call on it. I don't know if I have the university in there, but I will double check on that. But we will put that in there just in case. But every trainer should know the compensation plan, without a doubt. I mean, you might not know, what happens when this goes? That's fine, but know the basics of the compensation plan. Demonstrate and foster early confidence. When you first start leading a team, if you guys were around when I started doing these Zoom calls, I'd be like, oh my God, I teach high school. Teaching 33 kids is different than being on this. Thankfully, I can't see any of y'all, so it's not a big deal. But even at this point, I don't even care. I spoke at Virginia Tech graduation. It's different. That's easy. They were my peers. But even then, it was different. When I speak in front of all the teachers at my school, I get nervous. So as a new leader, expect a new trainer, or an expectation of a trainer is they're going to mess up. There are times where I've jumped the gun and I've been angry and I'm like, you know what? I'm shutting the team page down and they've got to approve all the posts. Been there, done that. If you were around, yep, I did it to y'all once. But as a leader, as a trainer, I was like, or as a leader, I knew okay, that was the wrong thing. And I came back and said, you know what? That's not what's the best for the team. And we opened it back up. So there are going to be mistakes. You can be angry at your trainer. but just get over it because we're human. We're going to make mistakes. So don't, it's that whole grudges. And maybe that's me and my orange in me that I don't, life's too short to hold grudges. Life is too short to worry about things I can't control. And that's one thing that LuLaRoe has taught me. Don't try to control the uncontrollable. And that's something that if you can manage, oh my goodness, if you are not orange, if you are green, that's a hard thing for you to do because you're like, no, I have to control the situation. Whereas that orange, whatever, doesn't matter. Watch some the training webinars. Know your team lenses. That's going to help you. If you are a trainer, if you are not a trainer and you have a trainer, reach out to them and let them know what your color is. Because if I know that my girls are in blue, I ain't got a lick of blue in me. If you've ever watched a live video with my husband and I'll say to him, what color is this? He's like, I don't know. You don't know the color. Don't worry. Because it's blue. And he makes the joke that I have no blue in me. And I really don't. I'm getting better. But I know that I need blue when I talk to my blues. Because I know there are some of my girls that need me to talk to them in blue. They don't need me to talk to them in my crazy orange. They need structure, or maybe they need me holding their hand saying, okay, you know what? Or maybe they need a bigger cheerleader. For me, if I'm content, I'm content. I don't need anyone, saying, how you doing? How you doing? As a gold, and also as my orange, that annoys me. I don't want people saying, what are you doing? What are you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? I already hate going to some of my girls reaching out to them once a month saying, how are you doing? Is there anything I can help you with? Because as an orange, I'm afraid that I'm bothering them. But if I know my girls are blue, you better believe that I'm going to reach out to them. And I've asked my girls, how often would you like to be contacted? Majority of them will say, I'll reach out to you when you need me or when I need you. But as a trainer, you need to reach out to your girls. And your girls, hopefully your girls are coming to you and telling you too. So if you have a trainer, this is what the trainer expectations are. So if you are brand new, if you're a QB, if you're a sponsor, if you're if you're a retailer, reach out to your trainer and let them know. Because then that'll teach them how they can serve you. And if you look on that triangle, that's what we talk about a lot in leadership. That bottom triangle, know who you serve. And knowing your team lens colors allows you to know who you serve, because we all want to be treated differently. Okay?
That whole lens color thing confuses me.
Oh my God, it's the best thing I've ever learned in my life. And it's so like, oh my God, it makes sense. I was talking to Gina about it today. We all hold a primary color. And
I feel like I'm a whole cluster of all the colors mishmashed together.
What was Jordan called it something? Again, I cannot text him again. I've already texted him saying, what is it called? A tangent, a trident, there's a name.
Divergent.
I'm a rainbow.
Divergent, yes. Divergent means that thank you, whoever said it, means you might be all four. Or you might be like Art is a chameleon. He's a divergent. It depends on who he's talking to. If he's talking to someone who's green, he goes green. If you're talking to someone who's blue, he goes blue. So there are a lot of people like that. Me?
Okay, I'm a divergent.
Or orange. Yeah, divergent. That's what that is.
Good. Okay.
Okay. So any trainer expectations? Questions? Okay, so if you are a trainer, for those of you that aren't trainers, this is what the topics your trainers have every single week. That's 10 a.m. Pacific time also, by the way. So the purpose of these, you can see on the left, they teach the trainers to better train their trainers or train their team. They are taught by 2 coaches for 30 to 40 minutes every single week. And it's a changing an 8-week rotation. So if it's culture, in 8 weeks from now, it'll be culture again. It doesn't change. Power of TED, that 1 week, if you see the, I don't know what the DTT is. I don't know. That might be better if I actually knew what that was, since I've been on these 1,000,001 times. But I do everything in Power of TED. So
the dreaded drama triangle.
Oh yeah, duh. Yep. So the Power of TED talks about the dreaded drama triangle. That's all it is. Tell that to my dyslexic butt. So if you are looking, I'm seeing if I can open it. That's the entire chapter, and it focuses all on that, and the entire book is about that. So if you want a good book, if you ever feel like if you look at it yourself, which people don't want to hear this, because if you tend to blame others, go get this book. If you think that you're not successful because of someone else, go get this book, honestly. It's eye-opening. It's off Amazon for $9. At one point, I used to give all my trainers this and said it's really good, because it's amazing how it helps you talk to people. It helps you even look at people differently because maybe they need a little help to realize that that they don't, or that they're blaming someone else and that they're causing drama, or they're putting the blame onto someone else. So it talks about the roles and responsibilities. If you go to convention, if you go to leadership, if you go to training the trainers, you learn about 4 lenses. You will hear Amelia speak on Deanne's daughter talk about time management. She does an amazing thing on time management. All of this stuff is in Fashion Fundamentals. You don't have to go to convention. You don't have to go to leadership training. Just go in the back office. It's all there. But if you need a refresher, you'll hear it on the Training the Trainers. So the last one is going to be your coach expectations. And this is, which is defined as a person involved in the direction, instruction, and training of a team. Okay, and you'll go through 7 C's. We're not doing through the 7 C's today, but we do talk about, that's the circle of safety. So if you're looking at the circle of safety, that's just kind of like, you want the inside of that circle. You want the chemical, the consistency, the cohesion. As I say it, that is my tribe mentality. It's one of the things that I pride myself most on when it comes to Lula Happy, that we have an amazing circle of safety, without a doubt. We might have drama here and there, but hello, we're women. It's going to happen. But it's so minor. When I hear other coaches talk about it, I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, they have had to put their pages on massive lockdown because of the drama. I'm like, no. Whatever reason, Lula Happy is so awesome when it comes to that. And I think a lot of it has to do with that circle of safety. And so trainers and stuff like that will learn about it later. But the bulk of it is just how is your environment of trust, and do other people feel like they have a safe circle, that they have that they feel like that they are being heard, that they are, that they can give their opinion, that they can say something and not belittled, or, that they are a part of the team. That's one thing that I really strive, that everyone, whether you're near or far, that you feel like you're part of the team, because this team does have, I think last time I checked was like 41 states. There are 41 states on Lula Happy, so it's not all local. It's all over. Okay, we don't have Hawaii yet. Because I was going to say coast to coast, which we do have coast to coast, but we don't have outside. We don't have Hawaii and Alaska. But so what are some expectations when it comes to being a coach? Everything we've already gone through. So everything we've already gone through. Creating an environment where whys are achieved. Hearing the girl say, oh my God, I got this, or I got that. Or I just paid my credit card off. Hearing that, oh my God, that's one of the best things in the whole entire world, because if they came in for finances, that's one of the best things. Or, you know what, my husband's proud of me. That, gives me chills. It's amazing. Or watching changes in marriages. Chrissy Stevens is very blunt when it comes to her why was to divorce her husband. As blunt as you possibly can be. And if you ask her now how her marriage is, LuLaRoe brought it back together. She's happy. So this is so much more. So money's great. Yes, money's great. But hearing the stories 1,000 times better. That is just as important as this. This is my personal why. You guys are my team why. And that's when you become a coach, that's what it's like. That's how it changes. So when you guys come to me with issues, it's personal. Someone came to me really upset about something because she got an email from compliance. And I said it to my husband yesterday morning. That email or that private message really made me realize of how important it is to take coach seriously, because she was worried that for something that was completely 100% fine, she was not a compliance, but some dimwit, because some jealous dimwit, and I'll say it, some jealous dimwit turned her in for something that was stupid, and it was completely up and up. Her fear that she was not going to be able to have LuLaRoe to make ends meet, that's a huge responsibility to make sure that the guidance that I'm giving is up and up so that she can't get fired, or she can't get her retailer, her application pulled. So it's a big deal, and all of the coaches take it very there's a lot of responsibility to it, and we all accept that challenge, and we want it. Okay, so we take it really serious. Be a creator. That's where this comes in. I'm a Kool-Aid drinker because I believe in this company. Yeah, I'm never going to say that there are things that suck and that should change and they are backwards and they need, you're like, what? Why are you doing this? Don't think that I agree with every single thing LuLaRoe has ever done. but I support their decision because they have a bigger picture and they know something that I don't know. There are times when I'm like, why are you releasing this? Are you kidding me? And I want to like bang power of 10 on my head and go, no, no, no. But they've got a different picture. They know something that I don't know. And so I support them. I trust them. And if you ever come to me and say, if you ever come to me and say, this is an issue, I don't get good product. I'm going to say, well, what have you done with that product? So I take it from the victim standpoint and say, how can you create something? How can you sell this product? What can you do to go from a victim to creator? That's a responsibility of me. I have to know the mastery, or all the coaches have to know the mastery of leadership and business fundamentals. We have the number one business fundamental is for people to know that you love them. So as a coach, are you reaching out to people? Do people know that when you are being blunt with them, that you love them? I can be harsh, and people know that I'm not doing it meanly, that I'm doing it out of the goodness of my own heart because I want to see them achieve their why. That if I'm saying that doesn't look so hot, you might want to change that. I'm not doing it because I'm just wanting to be a snot. I'm doing it because I've seen maybe someone do it and it didn't go well. I'm announcing a $10 off sale, and I come as a coach saying, you're not allowed to do that. It's not because I don't want you to sell because my product I'm selling for MAP. It's because I'm afraid you're going to get in trouble with ethics. And my job is to represent the company in their wishes, but it's also to make sure that you stay as a consultant, as a retailer.
Amy, do you love me?
Nancy, what are you going to do? I do love you. What's wrong? What are you going to say?
Just checking, because you don't tell me often enough.
I'm going to start checking in with you once we can just say, I love you.
You have to, because otherwise I'm going to
I do come on your live videos and tell you, so you hush up.
I'm going to conjure all these paranoid thoughts in my mind, and
whatever.
I need reassurance.
Okay, and so this is almost over here, guys. I know this has been a little longer than expected. Master core values, teaching and training. We try to give you guys as much training as possible. That is the job of the coach, is to try to give you as much training. Our job is to create leaders, not followers. We want you to be able to find the information yourself. We don't want you just to be a follower. We want you to be able to do it yourself. And then so when you get a team, you get to teach your team how to do this. My first priority is growing and developing my trainers. My directs and my trainers and my coaches, those are the three most important. Will I do everything for my team? Yes. But from LuLaRoe's standpoint, the first priority is grow and develop your trainers. It's so important because it's all about getting things to the end of the row. And we got to get that water to the end of the row. And if my trainers don't know how to do it, who else is going to know how to do it? LuLaRoe does want coaches to be full-time. It's not a requirement, but they would like it. They want you to be able to travel. At any given time, Deanne can call you up and say, would you come out here for this? And when Deanne calls you, you say, sure, I'll be there. I'll be there tomorrow. You do what you need to do. But holding consistent team and local trainings, team motivation, weekly training webinars. One of the easiest things for us is that access to elite services. This allows us to move something up a little quicker if we're not being able to get to make something happen. But it's not the first step. We have a chain of command just like everyone else. Elite's not our first option. We have to go through everyone else, and then we go to elite. So if you try to do something 100 times and you haven't got it work, or 2 times, then you can escalate it up to elite services. And any of the coaches can put it up to elite services. Okay, any coach or mentor. It is a requirement that we attend every leadership, which is in January, May, and October, that we go to convention in July, and we are on coaches calls every Monday, and then when Deanne calls them on Fridays too. Okay, and it is an expectation that we cruise qualify. Again, not a requirement like full-time, but it is an expectation. And what another thing that we do is we take water from our mentor in a company, and we share it. So we act as that mediator between the company and you guys. Okay, so that's what your coach's expectations are, or your coach's expectations. And then mentor, a person who provides helpful influence or guidance, gives counsel, and acts as an advisor. You'll see this. The redwood a lot, and I'm not going to explain the redwood because it's so it's completely different. If you have, I want to even say it's in the journal or the planner. But so Mentors Expectations is a lifelong service. You are at the beck and call of the home office. There's only 41 of them in the company. And their job is to make sure that this company is healthy and sustainable. They want to make sure that this is the longevity. Mark and Dan, Mark spoke a lot about how he wants this company years and years and years and years and years and years and years. This is not a short-term thing. He could have already sold it if he wanted to, but he wants a lifelong, this to be a lasting organization. It's not about you. You can't take things personal as a mentor. You're a servant leader. You're an outward leader, going back to the outward mindset again. You need to make sure you're doing everything according to P&P, that you're living all of the core values, that love, confidence, purpose, trust, and growth. And they talk about it saying that show up like an African safari guide, because you've been there, you know the roadmap, and we'll get through it together. You've got to have that trust in your mentor to help guide you and get you over that hump or whatever it might be. So you're that master gardener showing how to grow that the LLR redwood. And their first priority is to grow and develop coaches, because it all trickles. Remember, water goes from the top to the bottom, but you need to make sure that that bottom has to have water. It's not about the branches up top. It's everything. It's the roots, which there's your branch. So if you don't have this, please look at this. It's amazing. We're not going to go through it, but it's amazing. And it starts off those roots and goes all the way up. Every single one of us are on here some way. So, as in Dan, you can see the quotation up there, but Dan, you'll hear Dan say all the time, the more you give, the more you're going to get. And she's a firm believer that if the more you help, the more it's going to come back to you. Okay. So so here are the suggested reads. So this is the last slide that I have for you guys about going through the different expectations and roles. So if you are looking for the leadership and self-deception would be the only one that I would really say would be for sponsors and up. Everyone else it's amazing. That Start With Why, that Simon Sinek came to our conference last year. It was amazing to hear him speak. So start with your why, the go-giver, the outward mindset. Nancy, this is the one that I think it was Nancy who asked, is right here. If you tend to be someone that puts blame on other people and you don't even realize it, or maybe you do realize it and you're like, oh, I just don't know how to get away from that. Go look at The Power of 10. I know, who has time? They do recommend that we spend between 10 and 20 minutes every day for reading, which everyone has 10 minutes. And I don't even want to sound crass, but take it to the bathroom. You have 10 minutes. I mean, I know I don't spend 10 minutes in the bathroom, but I mean, go take it to the bathroom and read for 10 minutes. Yes, I just said that. If you are waiting in line at school for your kids, read it there. Wherever you can. If you can get a bath, good for you, girl. 10 minutes. Laying in bed, 10 minutes before you go to bed. Just don't fall asleep reading it, because then you're going to have to read it again the next morning. Or maybe that's what you do first thing in the morning. You read it for 10 minutes. You can legitimately get through it in 10 minutes. Okay, one chapter. Just do one chapter every single day, and it's just amazing. It's one thing that I have started doing since the Coaches Focus Group, because I was forced to do a chapter, and I like it. It's amazing. I have all my books over here, and I'm starting to get back in there. Even if you've already read The Go-Giver, go read it again. It's an easy read. All of these are really easy reads. Legitimately, all of them are easy reads. So, are there any questions? Oh, I can see everyone. Yay. No
Amy, are you going to put the link up since some of us came in late?
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, for sure. You guys will definitely, I will post it on the YouTube page, but I will also put the link to the YouTube either tonight or tomorrow. My leaders are going to kill me. There is a very quick leader call.
Are you going to have the PowerPoint posted? That's a question over in the chat.
Yes. Oh, I can do the PowerPoint. Yeah, I can definitely do the PowerPoint. If you guys want that, heck yeah, I can. I can see if I can put it in the Mac too. It might just be PowerPoint. I have PowerPoint on my Mac, so I don't know if it.
Can you PDF it and then post the PDF?
Oh, even better. Yes, I'll do that. Yeah, that's the smart. I'll take the last couple slides are the leadership thing, so I'll pull that off there and then I'll post it. Yeah, I can definitely do that. I'll write that down, because if you know me, I'm very ADD. Hello, welcome to my orange brain. And I will forget if I don't write it down. So someone has to remind me to do that, but I can't find my thing in here. Okay, so let me stop